What is going on, people? Welcome to your, let's see, 51st Java tutorial, I believe. And in this tutorial we're going to be talking about GUI some more. And unlike last time where we built a GUI that looks the same on every single operating system, like if you ran it on a Windows operating system and a Mac, it will look the exact same. What we want to do is we want to build an interface that when you run it on a Windows machine, that it inherits all the look and the feel of a Windows program, and when you run it on a Mac machine, it uses all the buttons and toolbars and title bars and windows as a Mac. So the last one we built in the last tutorial was simple for a really easy one, but we're going to be going in some complex, and it's just a better GUI system of building interfaces. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you today. So the first thing that we're going to want to do, again, we're going to be working with two classes: the Apple's main class with our main method in it, and a subclass or another class called Tuna right here. So in your Tuna class, or not the one without your main argument, the first thing we're going to need to do is import a bunch of stuff to use. So the first thing we're going to import is, go ahead and type import java.awt.flow layout, and make sure you're capitalized like I am. And what this is going to do is it's going to import pretty much how things are placed here. That's how I can say it. What this is going to do is pretty much give you the default layout managing. It's going to say, alright, I'm going to put this here. When I build my next item, put it to the right of it. When I build my next item, put it to the right of it. And once you run out of space, just move to the next line. So this is pretty much the layout of our thing, and we don't want to have to program an entire layout, so that's why we're importing that. The next thing we're going to want to import is, go ahead and type import javax, don't forget that X, and we're going to import swing dot JFrame. And there we go. What JFrame is it pretty much gives you all the basic Windows features like the title bar, the minimize, the maximize, the X, to close, and it pretty much just gives you the basic window. So we want to use what we have already, so that's why we're importing that. And the last thing we're going to import in this tutorial is the J label, and this is what we're going to be building. And this pretty much, a label is pretty much just a line of text, and it also lets you do simple images. But let's go ahead and import javax again, swing.j label, and make sure it's capitalized just like that. So again, this is gonna, sorry about that, I had to take a little break, someone knocked on my door. But what JLabel does is it allows you to output text and images on the screen, so that's why we need to import that. So now we can go ahead and start programming this stuff right here. The first thing we want to do is use inheritance like we did before. Public class tuna extends extends JFrame. So we need this tuna class right here to inherit all the stuff from JFrame. And again, like I said, JFrame gives you all the basic Windows features. So now we have all of the title bars, the minimize, the maximize, the X button. That's what that does. Now that it inherited all those qualities, let's go ahead, and the first thing we're going to want to do is build a variable, which is pretty much going to be our item. So let's make it private, and let's just go ahead, J label, that's what type it is, and just name it like item1 or something like that. And this is pretty much just going to be the item that we're adding. I mean, you need to name it something, so why not item1? And now we're going to build a constructor. So go ahead and type public tuna, or whatever your class name is, and give it empty. It's not going to take any parameters. And the first line in our constructor, and I spelled tuna wrong, the first line in our constructor is the title of the window. So let's go ahead, and how you do that is you put super, and the only argument it takes is the title. So this was going to appear in the title bar, the title bar. Let's just go ahead and put that. So that is how you add a title to your window. The next thing we're going to want to do is set the layout, which is pretty much the default layout. So go ahead and put set layout, and all of these methods, like super and set layout, these are imported whenever we imported everything. So set layout, and as a parameter for this, let's just go ahead and put new flow layout right there. And what this does is pretty much give us our default layout. So this adds a title, and this gives us the default layout. So now let's go ahead and start building the actual item that we wanted to build. So again, we already named it item 1. So let's set item 1 equal to new JLabel. And remember labels are pretty much just text. So this is how we put text on the screen. And the argument for it is what you want to output on the screen. This is a sentence. Make sure you spell it wrong. And now we pretty much just have an item that says this is a sentence. All we have is text on the screen now. Now we can add some functionality to our item. One thing we can do is make a little scroll box pop up when you hover over it. And that scroll box is actually called a tool tip text. So we can take that item 1 that we just built and set tool tip text like that. And now our argument is what's going to appear when we hover over it. So what do we want to appear? This is going to show up on hover or something like that. So now we built a line of text on the screen, and now when you hover over it, this thing's going to pop up, and we use that putting the set tooltip text method. A little tongue twister. And now lastly, the last thing we want to do is add the item to the window. We made an item, we have a window, but we didn't add the item in the window. So that's easy. All you have to do is add item 1. So again, don't forget, it just doesn't automatically add it for you. You have to actually add it. Why they did that, I don't know, but that's what they did. So now we have an item in pretty much our Tuna class is done. Now go over to your main apples class right here, and we can go ahead and start building the object for that, or calling our Tuna class. So the first thing we're going to need to do is import one thing right here. Import javax dot swing, make sure you spell it right, dot JFrame. And again, like I said before, this pretty much gives you all the basic Windows features. So now let's go ahead and start building an object for Tuna. Tuna, I'm just going to name my object Bucky equals new Tuna, or whatever your class is. Not going to take any arguments. And now you need to do a couple things to this object, which is pretty much the window with a line of text in it. What we want to do is set, and this is really important, set default close operation right there. And what we need to put in here is how we want our program to close. So put JFrame dot exit underscore on underscore close, all in capitals. And what this does is whenever we hit the X button, the program terminates. If you don't have this, then your program is going to be messed up whenever you hit the X button. Is my screen recorder still running? Alright, just checking. Now what we need to do is set a size for that object or a window. So again, put Bucky.set size. Let me see how much time I got left. 2 minutes. So this is going to go real quick. Bucky set size, and let's just put it like 275 by 180 or something like that. And now the last thing we need to do is Bucky set visible, and I'm gonna do this real fast. Set true, and this pretty much means so you can see it. Now let's go ahead and run this, and what we got right here is this is a sentence, and when you hover over it, it says this is going to show up on hover. So again, that's what we built right here. This is a sentence, put the title bar at the top, and when you hover over it, this is going to show up on hover. Now I only have 30 seconds left, so I can't talk you through how we did this all again, but make sure you watch the next tutorial. We're going to be putting more stuff in here, and I'm going to be explaining how we did everything. But again, like I said, I don't have time to do this tutorial because YouTube only lets you upload 10-minute videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next tutorial.